Good morning again. I thought I would turn on the camera today because I'm going to get back to something that's been sitting over on one of my other tables for 2 weeks-ish. And I'm not one to have started projects hanging around staring me in the eye and waiting. So today's the day. I decided to make this pair of background papers, and I challenged myself to use only antique paper and things that I made myself. So let's have a little bit closer look now. All right, this is of course antique from 1913. This is my antique ledger paper, some coffee dyed paper, more antique papers that I received from my good friend Rachel at Roxy Creations, some antique music paper, more dyed coffee paper, and January 13th on 1903, another piece of my ledger paper. Then, for my next layer on both of these, I use similar papers on them. And for both of these, my next layer was stamps, and I wanted to share with you how much I do like this particular shade of stamp. It is VersaFine Toffee, a wonderful shade of ink to go so nicely, as you can see, with this sort of a background. Love that toffee. And these are my handmade leaf stamps. So, thus far, everything is mine or my possession or very old. So then I said, self, why don't you make a copy? And I did, and this is matte photo paper, and as you can see, the coloration is a little bit different. It must have something to do with the fact that this matte photo paper sucks up that ink in a different manner. I'm not a great maven on the subject of printers, but this is what I got thus far, and I thought these papers would, I would tuck them aside and decide what I was going to do with them for future use. So, however, I use these as my work papers. I'm going to put these out of the way. And so, I've decided that what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to play up this this black, and I'm going to do some doodling on here. So again, it will be my my creation. I really have enjoyed this challenge. It hasn't been easy because the temptation is to use other things, but let's give it a try and see. And I'm thinking that I'm not going to plunge in with the pen quite yet. I'm going to give a try here. And these flowers, I don't want them to be going in one direction, because if I wanted to cut this paper for tags, I would probably cut it into thirds, and that's how I planned it when I worked on it. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. All right. So the trick is going to be now to spread out my drawings, and I'm going to want something in the line of stems with some doodled leaves here. Okay. So they're certainly not all going to come in one direction. I want them to maybe share one or two, but not too many. Well, my BFF and I, since we were 14 and 16, have a theory in life that when in doubt, plunge. So let's just plunge here. Let's just have a good go here. There we go. One flower. And let's put another one on top of this one. Let's make sure that these don't become monotonous. You can't have monotonous flowers. And here. One off the page. And let's do another one down here-ish. And I want to try for 5 petals, because I just happen to think they're a little bit prettier when they have that 5th petal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Okay. And I make this one a little bit smaller. And off the page we go. And maybe half of one down here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do mission accomplished on that one. Now, do I want to use, I think I'll use these flowers to connect the stems. I think so. One, 2. Let's go up for this one. 3. Maybe we'll bring this one. We'll bring this one over here to this one. Four. And 5. And let's do this outline. I'll set this one aside for the moment. And let's do this outline. And I'm going to be using my Pilot G2 number 10. Going to thicken up the hills and the valleys, and this thickened up. It's a hill, another hill, valley, hill, okay, valley thickened up a little bit. The trick is to make some variety, is to put some variety on the edges of these flowers. And now, just a little bit more perk here on the center. And this needs to have quite a bit of darkness around the edge. And let's do this one at least twice. There you go. And let's have a some smaller leaves here. I'm feeling that that would be a good thing to have. Now this stem goes here. So let me put this stem down here. And the different papers underneath are soaking up this this G2 in different ways. Okay. Well, I'm going to continue getting the outline on these on the flowers, and I will return. A little housekeeping time. Well, we have these flowers, each with a leaf. So far, just one. I think it's probably going to stay that way. And I'm going to start on this one, and this center. Is going to be a nice checkerboard. There's a little variety. And let's see what we can do here now. Depth here, where it's connected to the center. Here we go. And we'll finish up this flower and this flower in this design. And over here, we'll put circles in the center here. And then this one. And I've definitely figured out that the variety of depths of G2 pilot here is as a result of the variety of papers underneath. But it's working out because it always does. Just always does. Now, I believe that the only thing I'm going to do with these leaves is to make sure that my hills and valleys have something to say for themselves, and the points particularly. Something this simple makes all the difference. Okay. So I'm going to work on this, and when we come back, we'll begin the leaf stamp page. Well, here we are with mission accomplished, and having had a good think while I was doing this, I decided that I was going to keep this as a complementary sheet to go with this focal sheet. I do hope that you have enjoyed watching me play. The papers turned out quite happy making for me. I was particularly happy, of course, that everything here is valid in today's world. From the antique papers to the handmade stamps to the hand drawn flowers. And I do hope that you have enjoyed sharing this with me. If you have, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I do try to answer all of them. And I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Let's have a little bit closer look now. I have edged the outside with, around the edge with Distress Oxide Black Soot. I just thought it needed just the tiniest little closure, which darkening the edge of a paper does give. Bye now. See you soon.